afternoon. First, I want to say thank you for coming. Like I've said, when we planned this, we said, oh, it's Easter and everybody's going to be at the beach and go to church and stuff like that. But you know, I'm happy that you were able to show up. Today we're doing my section of the show is doing some cultural Virgin Island music. And when I thought about doing it, luckily I came across some music from a lady, Miss Marie Richards, that lived next to my kindergarten class. And she was a nurse, and she was blind. I think she had retired by the time I knew her. And she had moved here to St. Croix in her younger years from the island of St. Martin, I believe. And she lived next to the kindergarten class, and she used to come over and play for us. And she played a lot of what we call carizo songs, which I'll do a few for you. And she also did some calypso. And the thing about her is that she used to write a lot of her own music. And in the kindergarten class, which was at the St. Patrick's School in Frederiksted, she used to come to the classes until I was probably in the 3rd grade. So I got to hear her quite a bit. And she was elderly, of course, and eventually passed away. And one or two of her songs became kind of famous. Most of you would hear some songs here in the island. One of them, we call it the Mongoose song, and another one, the Donkey song, and here in the island we like to call it the Jackass song. Those were some of her original tunes. But she wrote a lot of different stuff, and she was also a historian and a poet. And in this CD that I got, it was recorded at the same radio station that I'm a radio talk show host there, and I also have a program in the evening playing old nostalgic calypso music or Caribbean music. And for some reason, they recorded her, which was a good thing, because one of the things that happens in cultural music and arts is after time you lose. If people don't continue to do it and teach it to the young ones, they get lost. And I believe that you're a lucky group today, because at least 3 of these songs have not been heard, I don't believe, it played live by anyone for at least 40 or 50 years. So I was able to capture some of them. I added in a few words to make them complete. And some of the words in the recording I couldn't understand. I tried my best as a cruiser and to figure out. As a matter of fact, I wanted to call my good friend Stanley Jacob. Stanley, stand up, man, stand up. Stanley is the leader of the 10 Sleepless Nights. Everyone lives here in the Virgin Islands knows Stanley. And we also have another 10 Sleepless Night here, Larry, Dr. Larson. You can stand up too. He's part of the group. They're both part of the cultural exchange group with Louise and Eugene Petersen and Pam Nielsen. We are all this exchange group that have been bringing groups here from Denmark and sending groups from here to Denmark. Marie Richards. She must have been like me, must have loved to eat, because a lot of her music is about food. Not like these first 3 songs are about food, and then she obviously was the lady of my heart, because her other 2 songs are about animals, the mongoose and the donkey, so right down my alley. So I want to do this first one for you. And it's about a dish that we have here in St. Croix called mafet. We're probably the only island, our only place in the world that makes this dish. And really and truly, it's not even served in any restaurant and stuff that I know of. Occasionally, you would have food sales and stuff, and some people would have it as part of the menu. But it's prepared with food that that no one else wanted. The slaves had to make do with what they were given by their masters, and they would put these wonderful dishes together. As well as the other two songs are pretty much the same. But here you go. If you want to cook, get a pencil and a book. If you want to cook my fare, listen to what I'm going to say. My fare got this stuff. I eat everything and I know. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. And this is how you start cooking it. You gonna need a Welshman fish, chop a tomato if you wish. Big tail, snout and salad too. Ham or ham skin that will do. My baby got this stuff. Eat everything and I know. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. If you want to cook it right, soak this fish overnight. Put it on to boil, steam and scald it for a while. My baby got this stuff. Eat everything and I know. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. No forget the tomato them. Make the starfish get the ham. I can't love a store with hot. My friend don't take off the potty. My friend he got his stuff. Eat everything and I know. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. Me no care what the people say. A cruise and love a good my friend. Thank you very much. Here's another one, and this is about crab and rice. The Caribbean have to be the only place where you could be driving, going down the road, and see something run across the street. You stop your car, get a stick, and hold it down, and catch it, and take it home with you, and purge it out. Which is we put it in a barrel or something and feed it cornmeal to get rid of all the stuff that it was eating. And then after a few days, you boil it up and cook it, and that's our land crab. And it tastes every bit as good as lobster and your king crab that you pay so much money for, but you could just pick it up any rainy night, just drive the road and you'll see them running across the road. And so we take that land crab and we make a lot of stuff with it, including crab and rice and callaloo. And some people make curry crab and things like that, but our favorite is really crab and rice. And my sister over there in the yellow, Arlene, she makes one of the best crab and rice. So she's gonna tell me my recipe in years and all that hot, but it's pretty good. I think I got it there. There you go. Have you eaten crab and rice? It is very, very nice. Off the fire, out the pot, solve it quick and solve it hot. Crab and rice, crab and rice. Crab and rice, get your share. Big fat crabs everywhere. Pan bush harden any place. Cook your crab and rice today. Crab and rice, crab and rice. Crab and rice, get your share. Big fat crab everywhere. Pan bush harden any place. Just cook your crab and rice today. When you're ready to catch a crab, always walk with your crocus back. Choke them, pluck them big and small. Watch them out and eat them all. Oh, crab and rice, crab and rice. your share. Big fat crab everywhere. And bush had many places. Just cook your crab and rice today. One thing about crab is smart. After all, he got a heart. If he bite you, squeeze the eye. Then he let your fingers fly. Oh, crab and rice, crab and rice. Crab and rice, get your share. Big fat crabs anywhere. Bamboo hard any place. Cook your crab and rice today. Crab and rice, crab and rice. Crab and rice, crab and rice. Crab and rice, crab and rice. I forgot to tell you a little joke about crabs. It was a very common joke, probably in the Caribbean, but mostly here in St. Croix. And I heard it in Frederickson, so it's sort of a Frederickson joke. But, you know, one of the things that happened back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s were people, as they grew up, they had to try to work their way so that they could get a way to go to the States. The States to us meant really New York and maybe someplace in Miami and the Eastern Seaboard. But you would say, yeah, he went to the States, man. Well, Eugene, they're in the States, like that. And you know it meant New York. And one of the things that would happen is the kids would leave here, or anyone would leave here speaking raw Crucian. And they go to the States for 6, 8 weeks or a month or two. And by the time they come back, they're yanking like, hey man, how are you, man? You okay? Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, what's that? And you know, so this young lady went to the States, and she came back, and she went to the market one day, and she's pointing and thinking, what's that? Oh, that's a tomato. Oh, hey, what's that? Sweet potatoes and stuff. And stuck her hand in the crab, and the crab grabbed her finger. And she started, oh God, squeeze the eye, squeeze the eye. And I meant squeeze his eyes, because if you squeeze the crab eye, he's going to let your fingers go. And that's what the line in the song was saying, that if he bite you, squeeze the eye, then he let your fingers fly. I know that. Here's another one with, and again, like I said, Miss Marie, she really was into her food. And the most popular dish here in St. Croix and in some other island is a dish called callaloo. If you're visiting and you haven't had a bowl of callaloo, you need to get to a local restaurant, or if you know anybody local, go ahead and ask them if they could fix you a pot of callaloo. It's very expensive to make because it has a lot of things in there like fish and conch and ham and same land crab. Help me now, what else is and then you see how everyone has their special seasoning that they put with it. And every island has a little different variation of the callaloo, but we in St. Croix feel that we have the best callaloo. We've never heard anyone talk bad about it, except that sometimes they would say, what's that green soup? It's a green soup. Well, because it's made with a lot of local bush. Here again, you could go, if you don't have anything to eat, you could go out in the field and you could do the callaloo is made with 5 or 6 different bushes. And bata is one, and whitey Mary, and parsley. Parsley is a lot like watercress. And it all grows wild. It all grows wild. I have it in my yard. Sometimes I'm planting, I want to plant tomatoes or something, and all this weed comes up, and it's bata and these kind of bushes. And of course you pick it and throw it away. And after a while I said, wait a minute, I'm spending a lot of money fertilizing this tomato tree and all that stuff, and all I'm getting is bata. Well, I want to start eating some bata and parsley and stuff like that. And of course the callaloo have a lot of different things in it. But here you go. But there's no other crop so nice like the Crucian callaloo. It is good, we all like it, babies like it too. I said we eat every bit and it keeps that fish that we Crucian callaloo. need some bata bush, white tea, berry, popololo. Possibly we don't grow your grind them good, make a nice callaloo. It is good, we all like it, baby like it too. I said we eat every bit and it keeps us fit like we cruise and callaloo. I said you bite up your cancan, you fry your fish, ham and lamb crab too. Corn pork or salt beef in the dish, make a nice callaloo. It is good, we all like it, babies like it too. I said we eat every bit and it keeps us fit as we cruise and callaloo. Some like corn pork with dumplings, I like that dish too. Some like sour fish with, but they really callaloo. It is good, we all like it, babies like it too. I said we eat every bit and it keeps us fit as we cruise and callaloo. Some like a good mafe, plenty salting too. When it's hungry, that's okay, but give me my callaloo. We like it, we all like it, babies like it too. I said we eat every bit and it keeps us fit as we cruise and callaloo. I said we eat every bit and it keeps us fit as we cruise and callaloo. Getting me hungry here. If you live in the States, or I imagine Europe and some of the temperate zones and stuff like that, you have your weasels and your foxes and even wolves and stuff like that cause a lot of trouble around. If you're a farmer, they come and they steal your chicken, mess up your farming and stuff like that, and become a pest. We don't have any of that here, but we got a little monster we call a mongoose. And he's every bit as smart and wicked and just conniving, if you want to use that word. And so even though there's a couple of songs about the mongoose, this is Miss Marie version. Mongoose, mongoose, come out your hole. Come out if you think you're bold. You think I'm making fun? Come here, body beat the drum. Mongoose, come out your hole. Mongoose, I don't color you. You ain't got no pedigree. You come from a thieving family. You ain't got no pedigree. You come from a thieving family. You say they bring you to kill the snake. Snake done dead, tell the people away. I don't care where they bring you from. One thing I know, you will bother some. Mongoose, come out your hole. Mongoose, I don't mash at you. You ain't got no pedigree. I say you come from a thieving family. You ain't got no pedigree. You come from a thieving family. You never walk what you like to eat. You got sweet mouth for chicken meat. That's why I'm gonna let you know what sweet your mouth gonna do for you. Hey, 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 hey. Mongoose, come on, yo. Mongoose, I don't color you. You ain't got no pedigree. You come from a thieving family. You ain't got no pedigree. You come from a thieving family. I say you teeth with palm and you suck the head. You run fast through me down leg. You run across the road faster than there. Mongoose, I don't make you hear. Mongoose, come out your hole. Mongoose, I don't color you. You ain't got no pedigree. You come from a thieving family. You ain't got no pedigree. You come from a thieving family. You ain't satisfied, the people said. The teeth makes food right off the shelf. The other day your teeth made pop right off the fire burning hot. Yes, mongoose. come out your mongoose, I don't color you. You ain't got no pedigree, you come from a different family. You ain't got no pedigree, you come from a different family. I'm gonna tie me dog right by your old mouth. I'm gonna loose you when I hear you shout. I try talking to you, mongoose. Mongoose, I don't pepper you. Hey, mongoose, come out your mongoose, I don't color you. You ain't got no pedigree, you come from a different family. You ain't got no pedigree, you come from a different family. Slide mongoose, dog know your name. Slide mongoose, hold up for you ain't got no shame. I said the mongoose went in the lady kitchen, they know how to shape big fat chicken, put it into his breast bone bucket. Slide mongoose, I said slide mongoose, hold up the dog know your name. Slide mongoose, oh yeah boy you ain't got no shame. I said the mongoose went in the lady kitchen, they know how to eat big fat chicken, put it into his breast bone bucket. Slide mongoose, slide mongoose, slide mongoose, slide mongoose. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying this, because I'm enjoying singing these songs for the first time in such a long time. And this one you might recognize a little bit more because it was made, some of it was made popular by Harry Belafonte and some of the other groups in the States back in the 40s and 50s that got into singing calypso music, like my good friend Burlife. Everybody say I look and sound like Burlife. Is that true? No. I like you. You shake your head. I don't tie your donkey donkey. I say don't tie your donkey donkey. The donkey eat a bikini grass. I don't tie your donkey donkey. Donkey laugh when I pass. Donkey is a buffet glass. I told you so from yesterday. Don't tie that donkey donkey. Whenever Miss Marie Richard come to sing for us in school, we would always shout when she said, "What song you want to hear?" We said, "Sing the jackass song," because that was the only time in front of the nuns that you could use a bad word, right? And get away with it. You ain't been hard what I say. Don't tie your donkey donkey. What you said you ain't care. Don't tie that donkey donkey. You think I'm making puppy show? Just a word till I blow. You think I'm making joke? Don't tie that donkey donkey. I don't tie your donkey donkey. I say don't tie your jackass donkey. The donkey eat a bikini grass. Don't tie your donkey donkey. Donkey laugh when I pass. You know that donkey is a buffet glass. I told you so from yesterday. Don't tie that donkey donkey. Donkey went to the donkey race. Don't tie that donkey donkey. They say good to keep the pace. Don't tie that donkey donkey. All the donkey running past. Your donkey is a lazy ass. I told you so from yesterday. Don't tie that donkey donkey. I don't tie the donkey donkey. I say don't tie the jackass donkey. The donkey eat a bikini grass. Don't tie the donkey donkey. Donkey eat a bikini grass. Hey, donkey wouldn't let me pass. I told you so from yesterday. Don't tie that donkey donkey. Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe, and don't let him go. Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe, and don't let him go. The donkey won't water, hold him Joe. 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 Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe, and don't let him go. Hold him Joe, hold him Joe, hold him Joe, and don't let him go. That donkey won't water, hold him Joe. Donkey won't water, hold him Joe. Donkey won't water, hold him Joe. Hold that donkey. Bucking donkey running down the bridge. Thank you very much. This final number is a compilation or an anthology which some calypso songs that are very popular here in the Caribbean, one by the Mighty Sparrow, and some of the Carrizo songs that we sing here actually because we have a few Carrizo singers that are still active, thanks to this. I need to give my condolences to the late Leona Brady Watson, who passed away recently, and she was one of the last authentic Carrizo singers, next to singers like Miss Enriches. And let me just tell you one line or two about Carrizo. Carrizo, we believe, is like the predecessor to calypso music, and it was sang mainly by women, and they would get around in circle, like a singing circle, a drum circle, and they would make up songs extemporaneously about current events. You know, if somebody cheating on somebody's wife or something like that, they'll make up a song about it. Or if somebody like to dress up and they only got one dress and they have to dress up every day with this one dress, they'll sing about that too. Or anything in the community, or a politician to get in trouble with these Carrizo singers. It really came from when the slaves were working in the field. They would sing these songs so that the master didn't understand what they were saying, and they were passing messages among themselves. And so this is where Carrizo comes from. And then of course you got more, and then when men started singing it, of course men as we are had to take it to a different level, and it became very vulgar and really really into it. You know, I think Donald Trump would have been a good Carrizo singer. And then of course we got into the calypso, and instead of being just a call and response kind of thing, it blossomed into a full melody and a full song, and came into the calypso realm. But that's where Carrizo came from, and it was mostly sang to the rhythm of the drum. There weren't any instruments playing with it. So this next compilation of tunes that I'm going to do is related to slavery and the experience of Black African slaves. Some of the songs I'm going to play the drum on my guitar here. It's a nice drum there. And some of them I'm going to play as a regular guitar. I should tell you that I came up with this idea just about 10 days ago when I started writing and working on the narrative, and I want to add to it. I want to make it into a complete text of the history of St. Croix. Really, the history of St. Croix as it relates to emancipation, the fire burn, and the eventual sale of the Danish West Indies to the United States. And so here we go, without any further ado. This narrative is a Calypso and Carrizo selection about the emancipation of the slaves in the Danish West Indies and the subsequent fire burn 30 years later. African men, women, and children were captured in the African continent. And some of these were kings and queens and princes and princesses. Some were warriors, and some were simply members of their various tribes and families. These Africans were packed into tall ships, like sardines in a can, you can imagine that. And they were forced to endure the hard and cruel journey across the Atlantic to the Caribbean and other parts of the world where they were sold as slaves. I'm a slave from a land so far, And so far I was caught, and I was brought here from Africa. Well, it was lit like fire from the white slave master every day down at the beach. Weeks and weeks before we crossed the sea to get to the West Indies. Well, they made me work, oh yes I work, good Lord, no pay. And I toil and toil and toil and toil so hard each day and night. And Lord, no pain, oh Lord, I wanna be free. In the late 1700s or so, the United Kingdom, along with other colonial countries, came to the conclusion that they would abolish the transatlantic slave trade in the year 1802, and so it became to pass. However, those that were already slaves and their children remained in human bondage, no more than the property to their owners, and they continued to suffer under the yoke of hard labor and cruel treatment. To maintain the supply of slaves, the owners put in place a plan to breed those already in slavery so that they may continue to produce this very valuable venture. The voice of abolitionists all over the world was taking hold, and eventually a plan was being discussed to allow for the gradual and eventual freedom of all slaves. The plan was that children of slaves would be born free. Slaves themselves would be freed on a gradual basis until all were free. However, the slaves in St. Croix became restless and started to agitate for their immediate freedom. Many times I wanted to run, but that old slave master standing there with the gun. And I know he's gonna shoot to kill, oh yeah. So I stay and I pray, but I'm black and still. I study night and day how to break away. I got to make a brilliant escape, but every time I think about them whipping them dogs, my body does start to shake. In my heart, there was much to say, and I pray boss would listen to me someday. Although he knew that my request was small, it was the sting of the whip there to answer me when I called. I had to chant and sing to express our feeling to that wicked and cruel man. It was the only medicine that could make him listen, and his soul calypso begun. The slaves in St. Croix, they couldn't wait. We wanted immediate freedom, and they would pass coded messages. Remember I told you about the Carissa song there? They would pass coded messages among themselves in songs while developing a plan of action. We now walk for Master till kingdom come, this your Master done. In for the morning, we walk into heaven, we gonna get we freedom. That was something that they would chant among themselves, and their master wouldn't understand it, but they know what they're talking about. So on July 3rd, 1848, the plan was put in place where Bodo, a guy named Calvin Bodo, General Bodo, Moses Gottlieb, and Martin King, as their planners and leaders of the slaves, had secretly entered into the battery fort of Frederickstead, Fort Frederick. And they had either stolen the gunpowder or rendered them useless by wetting them, something like that. Definitely the gunpowder was gone. In the wee hours of the morning, all them slaves from Frederickstead or in the neighboring estates began to migrate to the area of Fort Fredericks. They made a peaceful march from estate like Grange, Wheeler, Fortune, Estate Williams, Mars Hill, Estate White Lady, Butler's Bay, Annalee, Mount Washington. Here they come as they gather outside the fort demanding the freedom. General Voodoo, Metacall Van Schulten, Governor Van Schulten, we come to the fort to address them, and we want you to write down our freedom. Clear the road, I'll clear the road, clear the road, let it slip and pass, we going for our freedom. Hardship in the morning, suffering at night. Never, never help us over the Nevada riot. Clear the road, I'll clear the road. Clear the road, let the slave them pass, we going for our freedom. They bring we up from Africa, that's we born in land. Bring we in a slavery in the land of Santa Cruz. We no want no bloodshed, no, not a drop of bloodshed. All we want is freedom, just give we our freedom. Clear the road, I'll clear the road. Clear the road, let the slave them pass, we going for our freedom. Let we go to town, let we go with the general. General Von Schulten, General Bodo, don't give we our freedom. Clear the road, Governor Von Schulten, oh Governor Von Schulten. We got pressure till he crack and he write down our freedom. Write down our freedom, yeah. Clear the road, I'll clear the road. Clear the road and the state them pass, going for our freedom. Upon the declaration by General Van Schulten that all unfree in the Danish West Indies from this day on are free, the slaves began to rejoice and have a happy time. But the celebration was short-lived. Time has changed in so many ways, till one day somebody said, freedom, bloody slave. I was then put out on the street. I got no clothes, I got no food, got no place to sleep. I got no education, no particular ambition. This you cannot conceive. I forget my native culture. I live like a vulture from the white bars I had to steal. But they made me work, oh yes I work. Good Lord, oh baby, toil and toil and toil and toil so hard each day I die. I'm dying. Good Lord, oh baby, oh Lord, with emancipation of the slaves in the Danish West Indies and elsewhere, came the hardship of contract workers and indentured servants. This situation wasn't much better than slavery, and many workers were disgruntled and started once again to demand changes so that their life could be better. Some 30 years after emancipation, the situation got desperate, and a clamor for change was so great that on October 10th, 1878, violence erupted in what was referred to as the fire burn. Notice I didn't say fire burn. This is fire burn, as recrusion will call it, which took place on the island of St. Croix. We made it! Mary Thomas, Jonathan Josiah Abrahams, Marty Matilda McBean, Susanna Abramson, they all went to burn down the island. The plan was to burn down West End, come all the way to Basel. They didn't have no help. They did nothing like in 1948 when they had the leadership of Bordeaux and Martin. But in 78 it was different. So they took it into their own hands. Queen Mary Girl, Jonathan Josiah Adams, Martin McBean, Ada Abramson, that's them are the leader of the gang. Jonathan Josiah, Queen Mary, where are you doing? What are you doing? What are you going to do? What happened? Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing at all. We're going to burn down West End to the ground. Then we're going to go straight to Basel Town. Laram, Bella England, where you going? Since last year, October, Santa Cruz Day, Laram. Governor Ghana say, Mashallah. Martina say, shoot them as you go. Cabezema say, no, not at all. Then there won't be no need to burn down the island. Laram, since last year, October, St. Croix, Santa Cruz, Day, Laram. Governor Ghana say, Mashallah. Martina say, shoot them as you go. Cabezema say, no, not at all. Then we would have no need to burn down the island. They hit a wide blow for themselves. They burned down Lagrange. They burned down West End as they passed. They marched straight in out of this alliance until they passed and arrest. Estate Win, Estate Diamond. We are burning past Lower Love, Upper Love, past and then Bethlehem to reach Lorraine. Queen Mary, where you go? We are going to teach the oppressor what he do wrong. Queen Mary, where you go? We are going to teach the oppressor what he do wrong. They pass Lorraine. Some swing to the north and burn down Bon Esperance and Montbijoux and Estate Glen. Some went east to get to Paran Spot Dive and Ruby Castle. All repeated the rest. Down the road till they went until they reached an assault. That's where they jam down and hold them back. Fire shot, pow, shoot them down. Laram, Bella England, where you going? Since last year, October, the island in Laram. Governor Ghana say, Mashallah, can I say, shoot them as you go. Captain Zeba say, no, not at all. Then we will have to leave to burn down the island. Queen Mary, where you go upon? Queen Mary, where you go upon? Don't ask me nothing, darling. Just give me the magic trash. Bars and jailhouses, they give money there. Don't ask me nothing. Queen Mary, where you go upon? Queen Mary, where you go upon? We gon' burn down bars and we gon' burn them down. And when we reach factory, we gon' burn them at devil run. We gon' burn down bars and we gon' burn them down. And when we reach factory, we gon' burn them at devil run. Many were killed at Anna's home by the gendarmes. Some of the leaders of the fireball were captured and jailed. Some claim that Queen Mary was deported and all that, but I don't know, because up until the 1890 census, she and 4 of the other queens were still jailed in the Frederiksted Fort. That's what the census said. All I know is that on any October 10th, you will walk from Frederiksted at midnight, and you walk, come up on Queen Mary Highway. The road is named after her now. And in any of those estates, when you reach a quiet spot, midnight now, soon as midnight, you say, Queen Mary, where you going, born? And I want to hear in the distance, your spirit in my conscience. My angel house is there in your one. Oh, night you come back, your spirit in my conscience. We don't want them bad, go on, go on. Thank you. I want to thank you again for coming out today.